Afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is the Building, Zoning, Economic Development Committee, today, November 13th, and it is 4 o'clock. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Chairperson Patty Smith.
Here.
Vice Chair Shweta Bade.
Here.
Alderman Carl Franco.
Here.
Alderman Mike Seville.
Here.
Alderman Bill Donnell.
Here.
5 present.
Thank you so much. We're going to start with the approval of minutes 24 from our last meeting, 24-0767. The approval of the minutes from the BZ and Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee meeting held on October 9th, 2024. We had a motion by Alderwoman Bates, second by Alderman, was it you?
McDonald, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, I know your name. I didn't know if that was you or not. Alderman Donald. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, this motion goes forward. Clerk, do we have anyone here for public comment today?
We do not.
Thank you very much. Well, the first item on our agenda today is 24-0771, an ordinance establishing a conditional use plan development and approving the Gale Memorial Baptist Church parking lot plan description for the property located at 714 Gillette Ave. And do we have, thank you.
Hey everyone, it's good to see you all again. My name is Stephen Bravo. I'm a planner with the city's zoning division. So yeah, as we just heard, this is the plan development for Gale Memorial Baptist Church, their property at 714 Gillette Avenue. So you can see the property here on the screen. This is a parcel map. So the property itself is 0.15 acres. There's a single family house right now, so the sum of the proposal is Gale's Memorial Baptist Church, which you can see right here at 730 Gillette Avenue. They own this property. They also own the property to the north, 718 Gillette Avenue, and then across the street at 709 Gillette. So this property at 714 Gillette Avenue, they're proposing to demolish the house and then use this property for off-site parking for their church for I guess overflow parking. So the scope of the proposal is really to reduce the setbacks on the property. It's zoned R3, which is a one-family dwelling district, reducing it from, I think, was it 9 feet on the front yard setback, from 6 feet to 1 feet on the side, and then rear yard is 30 feet to 2 feet. And then the front yard setback is 30 feet. So again, they're reducing that to 9 feet. So we have representatives from the church here. I don't know if there are any questions for staff at this point.
Alderman Donnell.
So the zoning that we're going to apply to this property, what is that, PDD? Plan Development District?
It's just plan development.
Land Development.
It's to be
do we have a church zoning classification for churches? Quasi-public? We don't anymore? Okay. All right. Pardon me?
What was the answer?
Whether or not we have a zoning district for church.
We have a special use, don't we, for religious institutions?
Correct. So there's not a special zoning for church. They're allowed potentially in any district with a conditional use.
Okay.
Yeah, and one thing I want to clarify is that the plan development here is, sorry for not clarifying this earlier. The plan development doesn't include the 730 Gillette Avenue. It's just this parking lot, and it's to allow for the parking lot, the use itself, and then to reduce the setbacks in the maximum lot coverage to increase to, I think, like 80% from 40.
I guess one of the reasons I asked some of these questions is there are a lot of little churches throughout the neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And generally they use street parking. I understand that, Gale Street, needs additional parking there. But the reductions in setbacks, you're recommending in favor of those, and if you look at the site, which I did today, with industrial uses and other, that's why you're supporting the reduction in setbacks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I appreciate that because I've had some questions about other churches creating parking lots in neighborhoods and And I got a lot of feedback about that one.
Oh,
So I just
okay.
want to make sure we're on solid ground of why we would make an exception here.
Yeah, and I think one thing I wanted to add, because it did come up at Planning Commission, is that if you, I'll pull up the zoning map here. So you can see the properties, the area to the west is M2 almost entirely, which is higher intensity industrial. And then the area really to the east is all R3, which is one family. So we were kind of looking at this property as like similar to the western side of this block of Gillette Avenue. Like this is multifamily, this is the church's main property, this is the subject property here highlighted, and this is actually parking lot here and then business. So we were looking at it as kind of like a buffer between the higher intensity industrial uses to the west and the single family residential, which is also part of the reason why we're supporting this.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? Yeah, Alderman Seville.
Yes, I just want to follow up on Bill's original question. This Plan Development District that we're creating, is this a special use,
It's a conditional use plan development.
but not a special use?
No, because we're reducing the setbacks, the use, and then increasing the lot coverage, so it's a plan development.
Says conditional use.
Sorry, Alderman. Ed Sieben. We don't use the term special use anymore, so conditional use means exactly, conditional use means what special use used to mean. So we just call it conditional use
Oh, I see.
now.
So when a new church comes to town, it would be called a conditional use?
Correct.
Okay,
We don't use the term special use anymore. We changed that a couple years ago.
okay. Good.
Okay.
I missed the memo.
Yeah. Sorry for the
Yeah,
confusion. Sometimes it confuses.
I didn't quite get your question.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sounds good.
Any other questions? I do see that there was some public input. It looked like perhaps only one person that had a concern from the public, and that was it?
Yeah, and I think we addressed those at
Yeah,
Planning
it
Commission.
looked like so. Have a motion here?
Motion to approve.
I have got a motion from Alderwoman Bates, second, yes,
Could we
sir.
just have the petitioner present?
Of course, if that's what you'd like, we can have the
Yeah.
petitioner present.
I would appreciate it.
All right, Alderman Seville would love the petitioner to present to us.
And then if the engineer wants to join him, that would be fine. Is that the engineer next? No, he's part of the church.
And if we have the engineer here, if he'd like to join, he can also join up in case there's some questions. You guys just introduce yourself before you speak.
Good evening. My name is George Overton. I reside at 1378 Parkside Drive in Bolingbrook. I currently serve as a deacon at Gales Memorial, and I also serve as chairman of the trustee and deacon board. Gales Memorial Baptist Church has been a beacon of light in the Aurora community for more than 74 years. We are one of the first African-American churches on the west side of Aurora. We serve approximately 65 to 70 people on Sunday, both for our Sunday school and our normal church service. More than 70% of our membership, excuse me, is over 65. Some are on walkers, some are on canes. The church needs more parking to accommodate those members and to provide adequate parking when the church is used for funerals, repasses, neighborhood watch, and other community events. Our church baptismal pool is often used by other Aurora churches. Parking on the street is not as readily available as more residents have more vehicles that take up the spaces. Snow removal has become difficult. The property we've selected is more than 100 years old, and if we decided to renovate it, it would cost us 3 times the amount of money. We are proud to be a part of the neighborhood and plan to be there for another 74 years if possible. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate that presentation. Does anyone have any questions for the petitioner? And with engineer, would you like to add anything to that?
John Teberg with Teberg Engineering, 410 Church Street, Sandwich. Yeah, we try to incorporate as many parking places as we could, but yet still leave room for some landscaping and some BMP infiltration. So overall, it turned out to be a nice project for them, and I think it'll look nice as well.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much, gentlemen. We do have a motion, and
comment. You said,
Go
but
ahead.
not a question.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to inform the BZ&E committee that as the ward alderman, I have periodically over the years received phone calls from constituents who live in the neighborhood complaining a little bit about the lack of off-street parking. And so I want to commend the church for just taking a long-term view for the benefit not only of their church, but for the benefit of the neighborhood too, is to get these off-street parking vehicles from their church that are only there during church events off the street onto a safe parking lot that the church owns, and thereby not having it so congested in the neighborhood. The church has done a good job of renovating this part of my ward over the years since I think the early 60s when you were first located there. You did your big expansion in the 1980s. And I think this is in keeping with being very progressive with meeting the needs of their congregation as well as being a good neighbor too. And I think this is going to be a good thing, a positive event long-term for the neighborhood. But I just wanted to inform the BZ&E committee about this. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you,
Second.
all your questions and/or comments?
Yes, I would so move.
Satisfied? We have a motion by Alderman Franco, a second by, no, motion by Bade, Alderman Bade, second by Alderman Franco. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The item moves forward. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to take the next item and add it to one on the back. I'll read the next item first. 24-1839, an ordinance approving a revision to the Savannah Crossing Plan description on 1.15 acres of property located at 1319 Butterfield Road. And we're going to include 24-0841, a resolution approving a final plan on Lot 8 of Savannah Crossing subdivision located at 1390 Butterfield Road for drive-through facility use.
Hello, Emma Field, Associate Planner. So the subject property today is zoned B2C, Business District General Retail with a conditional use, and that conditional use is for a conditional use plan development, which is called Savannah Crossing, which you can see here. This is where the Walmart is. So the petitioner is requesting approval of a plan description revision to the Savannah Crossing conditional use plan development. And the revision is to allow up to 6 drive-through restaurants and then also allow a drive-through restaurant on Lot 8. And then in addition, the proposal is also for the petitioner requesting a final plan. And the details include a 2,300 square foot drive-through restaurant of fast casual Chinese food. I'll zoom in here. The plan shows 2 menu ordering stations. It allows for a 13-car stack up, and it meets regulations with 41 parking spaces, including 2 handicap spaces. And there are 3 points of ingress, egress on the property, to the east and west on the south, and then to the north. And then the north egress, ingress is to a private road in the Savannah Crossing subdivision. There's also a sidewalk that runs along the north part of the property. And then in addition, they created a landscape plan that shows a mixture of trees and shrubs, which I can pull up as well. And there will be buffering along the southern part of Butterfield Road. And then in addition, this property, as you can see here, is vacant. It's been vacant since 2005 when this was constructed, so there's been nothing on this property. And so this would be the first built building on here. And then there is also no fast casual Chinese restaurants in the general area. So this would be the first in that area. Do you have any questions?
Do you guys have questions?
I have a question. So
Alderman Franco?
on this lot, well, there's different lots.
Yes.
we could get 5 to 6 restaurants in there, drive-throughs in that spot, in that space there?
So, it's a little confusing. So in the plan description, right now it currently allows 5 in the plan development, so this would be the 6th drive-through restaurant. And then,
This is an additional one, the one's existing. There's one's existing already.
yes, so
All right,
this would be the additional
All right,
one.
so I was thinking we're gonna go 5 more. I'm like, where are we putting
Oh,
them all?
no,
all right, good,
this
good,
would be, this would be number 6, and then
Okay.
in addition, it says in the plan description that it's allowed on lot this, and this, and it didn't say lot 8, so now we're adding lot 8, which is this
Okay,
one,
all
into
right,
it,
makes
yep.
sense, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Alderman Denell.
Just a comment. Mr. Chairman, I was on Plan Commission when this came through originally, and we were very conservative and worried about drive-through restaurants, which I think we live in a different kind of world today, and how COVID affected us. So I think this is probably a good thing. I went out and looked at it. It'll be a vast improvement over the existing landscape that's there today.
Yes,
What
definitely.
year was that when you were on Planning Commission?
I was there for 25 years, so take your pick.
Long time ago. And do we have the petitioner here who'd like to say something, step forward and identify yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Justin Crable. I'm with Atwell, and we too were involved in that project 20 years ago when Walmart came to town. So my firm got to work on all these lots and the Walmart and even the multifamily behind it, which I can't remember what that's called, but it was a Chestnut Home project. So I don't have anything else to add from what Emma has already described. I know my client's excited to get this project developed, and they're anxious to get started, and we're just looking for a favorable approval.
Wonderful. Anybody have any questions for the petitioner?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Franco, second by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The item moves forward. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There's 2 of them.
Oh, yes, go ahead and, we're going to go ahead and, do you have anything further to add to the next one, the 240841, or is that it?
No.
Okay, so I need a motion on that one.
Second.
A motion by Alderman Seville, second by Alderman Franco. All in favor?
Aye.
That item, any opposed? Item moves forward. Thank you so much. Okay, the next item on our agenda is 240872, an ordinance vacating a portion of dedicated public right-of-way for Middle Ave near the property located at 600 South Lake Street in Kane County, Illinois, 60506. And you're back.
I'm back. Bear with me just a minute. Emma and I are kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit today's meeting. So we have to kind of, there you go. Okay, so yeah, as we just heard, this is the plat of vacation for portions of Middle Avenue and some adjacent alleys here near the intersection of Middle Avenue and 3rd Street. You probably know the adjacent property is 600 South Lake Street. This is Richards Wilcox industrial facility out there. I believe we have representatives here who can come up and speak. So really what's happening is, so the representatives can talk more. They're proposing a solar panel array kind of in this back portion of this parking lot and open area. What we found as we were reviewing the permits that have come in through the Building and Permits Division is that this, really this right-of-way that runs through, through the property. So we're working with the engineering department to really vacate that right-of-way, make it private property so that Richards Wilcox can really build this solar panel array. So that, again, the plat of vacation is really what's being discussed here today, but the representatives can, I think, would be more than willing to talk about the solar panel array. But are there any questions about the plat of vacation or any other questions for staff?
Anyone have any questions for staff? Alderman Denell.
I just want to compliment the plat of vacation. When sometimes we look at easements, it's very difficult to figure out where you're at because they're kind of sketchy. The surveyor's done a great job of putting this together, so it's obvious what we're talking about, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, and they did it on really short notice, too, so.
And would the petitioner like to step forward and add to that? Please identify yourself.
Ken Mikes with Richard Wilcox. I don't really have anything to add. I mean, that's pretty much the story of what we're trying to do. We didn't know that right away was there, so we discovered it upon the permitting process.
Does anyone have any questions at this point for the petitioner? Alderman Seville, go ahead.
I don't have any questions, but I have a comment.
Go.
I just want to say that Richard Wilcox has been part of our community for many, many decades.
140 years.
That's
Wow.
right, yeah, before my time. And I
Are you
appreciate,
sure?
huh?
Are you sure?
Well, give or take a couple weeks. You know. But I appreciate your commitment to the city and to your employees over the years and the products and what you do there. I was here on the council when we vacated 3rd Street, so you could expand your building there. So if anybody in the council wants to know why 3rd Street runs into the building, it's because we vacated the rest of the street that went to Lake Street. So I think this is in keeping with your further expansion and betterment of your business and ultimately the betterment for our community too. So I wish you well.
Thank you.
Alderman Donnell.
I too want to congratulate you on what you're doing here. I was around for the vacation, but was more impressed with how you put a roof on the place with a helicopter. That was fun to watch. But what I'd like you to do is maybe talk about your decision to add solar to this facility.
Yeah, I think we know there are a bunch of credits out there to be taken, and we just think that we can, you know, help the city become green by adding this field, and so that's kind of why we're doing it.
Any idea what percentage of electricity you're going to be able to recapture back there for your factory?
We are hoping to do 100%.
Really? Wonderful.
That's the plan.
That's
Very
great.
good.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Move for approval?
All right, motion to approve by Alderman Bade, second by Alderman Donnell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That item does move forward. Our next item is 24-0873, an ordinance annexing property located at 1457 Indian Ave to the city of Aurora pursuant to the water service agreement. And then we'll do all 3 of these in a row, Tracy, as we finish them.
Okay. I'm actually just going to give you a little background to begin with. So water service agreements are agreements that allow the city to actually give the residents that live outside the city limits the ability to hook onto city water. The agreement states that basically when they become contiguous to the city, that we can annex them then. We don't have to, but we do have the right to. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background to that. So for the last, I'll say, year, the Zoning and Planning Division has been going through all of the water service annexation agreements and identifying contiguous properties to the city limits that now are eligible to be annexed. So you will be seeing probably more of these in the next couple of weeks. I think there's about 10, give or take, that we can actually annex right now. So with that, the subject property is located at 1457 Indian Avenue and is currently a single-family home within the unincorporated King County. The previous owner did enter into a water service annexation agreement in April of 1996 in order to receive water. At that time, the property was not contiguous to the city. The subject property is now contiguous to the city municipal boundaries to the north. Therefore, the proposal is to annex the property pursuant to the water service agreement. The subject property currently has city water and is paying double water rates. So as a result of the annexation, the current property owner will be paying regular city water rates once annexed, and then it would be annexed in as R1, which is a single-family residential zoning. With that, I can take any questions that you may have. Otherwise,
I have a question, Tracy. You said can annex.
Yep.
Can they reject that annexation?
no. So that's why when they sign that, we do record the annexation. So that's kind of what's been taking us a little time to go through all of those recordings and make sure that they're recorded correctly and everything. So Once they sign that, it should be on their title so that if they sell the property, the next person would be known that they can be annexed into the city
Okay, by us doing so.
by us
If they're
doing so.
contig-
And we don't
once they
have
become
to.
contiguous.
Yeah, and we don't have to, and there are certain times where it doesn't make sense for us to annex the property in, even if it is contiguous, because there might be some street boundaries and stuff like that that we then would have to take care of. So there are some times that we don't annex them in, even if we do give them city water.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Alderwoman Bade, second by Alderman Seville. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item moves forward. And if you want to just stay there, Tracy, 24-0875, an ordinance annexing property located at 676 Austin Ave to the city of Aurora pursuant to a water service agreement.
So this would be the same thing, so that we would be annexing it in as R1 also.
Any questions here?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Franco, second by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item moves forward. And the last one to go with that is an ordinance annexing property located at 361 Eastern Ave to the city of Aurora pursuant to water service agreement. And it's 24-0876.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Franco, second by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That item moves forward. Thank you so much. Now we're going to go back to item number 24-0874, an ordinance vacating a city easement to the property located at 10002 North Farmsworth Ave in Kane County, 60505.
Hello, I'm Field again. So we are vacating a stormwater easement on the property that is 1002 Farnsworth, and we are vacating this area down here for an ice house machine that gives out ice. And so the location's at the eastern corner of the Farnsworth Plaza Shopping Center, and the self-operating machine is about 200 square feet and will take up about 2 parking spaces, but handicap accessible spaces will be provided for. And let me pull up the plat as well. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions on
We
this?
have these,
Comments?
we have these machines that are similar located in other parts of the city?
There is one on Hill Avenue.
Hill Ave, yeah, I go by that every day on my way
Do you?
here, yeah.
Okay. We don't have a photo. Do we have a photo of it?
Just says big ice on the side of it.
Yes. Yes, I can pull it up.
Yeah, great.
Ed Sieben, hi. I believe there's also one that was put in on the 1900 block of West Galena, in front of West Plaza.
Oh,
That office lot that's in front there, I
Yeah.
think there's one there.
okay.
Or it's in the process.
Oh, interesting.
There it is.
I never have either.
Any questions, comments on this?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Franco, second by Alderwoman Bade. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This item moves forward. Last item on our agenda today is 24-0824, a resolution approving a revision of the final plan on Lot 2 for Life Storage Center subdivision located at 1650 North Randall Road for a mini storage common corridor unit 3342 use. And you are back again.
I am. I missed you guys.
We missed you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so again, Steve Bravo, City Road Zoning Division. So as we just heard, this is the self-storage facility at 1650 North Randall Road. I believe are you with representative with the business? So really what's going on here, I would think probably the committee remembers last year, and I think it was spring of 2023 at least, we did a final plan revision for this facility. really to develop a new 3-story storage facility on this lot. And then there's an existing storage facility here on the west at 1650. And then this 1-story multi-tenant building was also being converted into self-storage. So as part of that final plan from last year, there was it was a 3-story facility being here on Lot 2. As time went on, the petitioner, who is now Extra Space Management, decided to reduce the building from on this lot to the building from 3 stories to 1 story, make the footprint a little bit greater. So it's really just a revision to the previous final plan for just lot 2. So there's plans in the packet, landscaping. I don't know if you have any more questions for staff. We do have a representative who can come up.
What ward is this?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, okay. Ward. It's Franco?
Yeah.
Before the petitioner comes up, any comments or questions? Go
Just a
ahead, Alderman Seville.
clarification. So they're going from 3 stories to 1 story, but they're increasing the space?
Yeah, they're making a little bit wider. I think the last one, what did I put in the staff report? I think it was previously 19,600.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah,
22,000.
it's going up, yeah.
So
And the last time you were before us to change this to what we're now changing again, the petitioner said that they were looking at increasing the storage where the former retail stores are and still are operating. They still have plans to do that in the near future?
maybe the representative can speak, but as far as this final plan, that's staying the same.
Hi, I'm Mike Ofter-Hyde, SGW Architecture. No, there's no plans to redevelop the retail space at this point.
Well, we approve the ability for you guys to expand your storage and to get rid of those retail spaces and convert it to storage. But you're saying the plans are not in the near future to be able to do that, even though we've approved that?
Correct, yeah. So
Okay.
part of the new plan removes that portion of the project from the scope of work.
Is that true? It's removing it?
No.
That's what I thought.
So that will stay there in perpetuity. They could do that at some point in time because there's no
If they, yeah,
sunset on that.
Correct.
yeah, correct.
They're just choosing not to do it right now.
Yeah.
My mistake, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get clarification.
Yeah.
As to where you are in that project, and obviously you're not moving forward with that, but you're moving forward with this, so that's fine. Okay.
Any further questions or comment, Alderman Donnell?
Just a clarification, so is that commercial space going away? Is it gonna be storage? What, I didn't follow, I
Oh, well,
guess.
currently, the thought is just to leave those retail tenants as they are. Yeah, there's no plans to do anything with that space at this time.
So there'll still be retail?
Correct, yeah.
They active
So my
retail?
question to staff is, do we have adequate parking with this plan?
Yeah, we do. The parking requirement is 1 space to
Right.
6,000. So I think for lot 2, like that's 6 spaces, and I think there's like 20-some spaces on lot 2, and then there was more than enough parking on the other sites, the outside lots for those uses
For the storage uses?
for storage and for the commercial.
Is that active retail, Alderman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and half
Well,
the stores.
well, yeah, the liquor store and there might be a printing place over there, I'm
Yeah.
not sure, yeah.
Alderman Seville?
Well, just to clarify Alderman Donnell's question, they still have the ability to convert those retail spaces to storage anytime they want, because we approved that at City
Right,
Council.
right.
They're just choosing not to do that at this point in time,
Right. I got that.
so, okay.
And just to make sure, the formula for parking for self-storage is probably lower than other formulas, just because it's not consumer-driven, right?
Yeah, it's what was in the plan description from last year was 1 to 6,000 square feet of storage.
Okay.
I think for commercial, it's usually like 300 square feet, so it's well below.
Okay.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Thank you, sir.
Sure.
We have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion by Alderman Bates, second by Alderman Franco. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The item moves forward. There is no need for a closed session. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Oh, motion to adjourn by Alderman Franco, second by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is over.
Aye.